Alright, so welcome back to our YouTube channel. Like we always say in our videos, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the future content. And let's get straight into today's video. So today's video was requested by a viewer of the channel. They requested that we do a video on the C17 characters and what adventure souls you should be putting on each character. Now I really like the idea of the video because I do get a lot of questions asking, oh, what adventure souls did you put on your Hiyori, or what adventure souls does this character have? So this video will basically answer all those questions for you. Okay, so we'll be going through all the C17 characters at least up until Swimsuit Hancock. I'm not going to do any of these characters down here because you shouldn't be pairing any of these characters up at all. They're not good in the game. So we'll be doing the characters from Kaido Dragonform all the way down to Swimsuit Hancock. And we'll be recommending for each character the adventure souls that I think you should use on them. So first of all, let's go through each adventure soul and let's see what they actually do. So we have Burst Impact at the top, we have Last Stand, we have Straight Dive, we have Synergy, we have Weakness Assault, and then we have Spring of Life. So if we bring up our adventure souls details, as you can see, we have documented what each adventure soul set does at the awakened tier, so the very highest tier, because some of the characters giving them adventure souls really depends on the awakened tier, not the tiers beforehand. So Burst Impact, after the attack scores a critical hit, it deals 80% own damage of true damage to the target. There's also a 50% chance to applying burning damage of 15% attack on the target for 3 turns. At Last Stand, when HP reaches 60% or lower for the first time, it increases own damage reduction and damage bonus by 30%. There's also a 30% chance to remove advanced debuffs on the crew member. Straight Dive. During an attack, if the crew possesses one of the following buffs: attack boost, crit rate, block rate, ultimate damage boost, then it additionally raises the crew's crit rate and crit damage by 6% up to 30% based on how many buffs they have. And then when the crew's HP is higher than 80%, it additionally raises the crew's attack by 30% for the current turn. That's every one of your crew members. Next up is Synergy. For every one friendly crew hero on the field, it increases own damage reduction by 6% up to 30%. So if you only have 4 characters on the field, it will only be 24%. The maximum you can get is 30%. So at the very start of the battle, when you have your 6 characters, it will be 30%. For every one friendly hero killed, it restores the crew member's rage by 200 points and their HP by 5% of their maximum HP. Then the last two we have is Weakness Assault. During an attack, for every one type of negative status on the target, the crew member deals 18% additional damage to them, up to 72%, based on how many negative status effects are on them for 2 turns. So it's basically similar to Straight Dive, except negative status effects. There's also a 30% chance to reduce the target's defense by 30% for 2 turns. Now the last one is Spring of Life. Each time when an ultimate skill is casted, it heals the crew member and a teammate by 40% of their own attack. So I'll just leave this up there for a little bit. If you guys want to take a screenshot or anything of what all the adventure souls do, that's all the details and what they do there. So let's get to ranking each character. Alright, so the very first character we have is Kaido Dragonform. Now, I personally use Burst Impact on Kaido Dragonform because he does have the burning effect on his ult and his pirate flag, so you can triple down on that. He also has the row or line of enemies for his basic skill and his ultimate, so it's very good. It's going to hit 2 people at once. Some people do run Last Stand because he does have healing and he does have the invincibility. But in my opinion, he's damage dealer. You can also do Straight Dive if you want on him. Either of these 3 are fine. I personally like Burst Impact because I think he's more of a damage character. So that one's completely up to you. Either of those 3 are fine. Next up we have is Blackbeard. Now Blackbeard, I think you want to put on Burst Impact for his ultimate ability. He's mainly used for his ultimate to get the 100% guarantee to render the target completely useless for the battle. You can run straight dive if you want. Like every attack character, you can run either burst impact or straight dive. It's completely up to you. So I'm just gonna put him in burst impact for now. Some like last stand. Some people like last stand. Last stand is you can put on any character. Like literally any character can use last stand. But I'm gonna put him in burst impact. You can use straight dive last stand, whatever you want. I'm just gonna put him in burst impact. Law, in my opinion, is definitely burst impact. For his ult, you want the AoE burning damage. You can also do straight dive on him if you want, but I believe burst impact is the most used and the best for him. Nami Valentine again, same thing as Law. AoE silence, AoE ult. Law doesn't silence, sorry. Hers is AoE silence. I think burst impact is the best to get the burning on every single character and the true damage. You can go straight dive if you really want to increase crit rate and crit damage, but I think the AoE true damage and burning effect with the silence is a great combo, so it's completely up to you. As I said, any attack character can be burst impact or straight dive. Big Mom, same thing. She really needs the burning effect to work. So you do need on the strength team for her. She does guarantee crit if they are burning. So I would either say straight dive if you have a lot of burning effects already on your team, like Sabo, Flame Fruit, and other things like that. So she gets the maximum damage because she does, again, as I said, guarantee crit, and straight dive does increase her crit damage on a burning character. So you can put her in straight dive, or you can put her on burst impact if you are struggling to get those burning effects out, because her ult does hit multiple people. So either one is fine. We'll just put her in straight dive for now, I guess. Shanks will put in burst impact. Again, very similar to Kaido Dragon Form, except he doesn't have the invincibility effect, so you definitely don't want him in last stand. He's either, yeah, probably burst impact in my opinion. Marshall Kaine, burst impact for sure. Well, his ult hits really hard. And he crits a lot, so burst impact could be very good. I think he does need the true damage. Next up we have is Fujitora. Fujitora AoE ults, that's about it. The character's really just there for his ult, so I'd say burst impact, so you get the 6 burning effects on them, but you can go straight dive, I guess. I'd say burst impact in my opinion. Sabo Flame Fruit, you definitely want burst impact for to get the burning effects for your Big Mom to work. You can obviously, like I've been saying, you can put them as straight dive if you like, but in my opinion, burst impact is the way to go. Another very strong strength character is Mihawk. You can put him in straight dive to maximize his crit damage, maximize the damage. Obviously, straight dive does do maybe more damage. Not exactly sure. But if you do need burning effects for Big Mom again, I would be putting him in burst impact, but straight dive can be good for him. So maybe we'll put him in straight dive, but I had him here before, but he could be straight dive. Sir Crocodile, I would 100% put in burst impact. AoE ult, so they just get the full burning effects with the rage and everything. It's just so good. I definitely put him in burst impact. Last stand, I mean last stand can be for any character as I said earlier. Weakness assault. The problem is the weakness assault isn't going to work initially on his ult because it does the damage first and then the debuffs afterwards. So yeah. Next up we have his General Frankie. Last stand 100% in my opinion. Synergy's okay for the damage reduction, but the thing with General Frankie is he is obviously the best tank in the game, but his passive also heals him back up every turn, and he does do rebound damage. to their attackers, to his attackers. So I think Last Stand is by far 100% the best move for General Frankie because he's going to be healing back up. He's going to instantly get the Last Stand, and then he's just going to be pumping out the damage after that. And he has the maximum damage reduction as well. Next up we have his Bullet. Last Stand is 100% made for him. Literally made for him. When he dies, he gets resurrected, gets 100% rage back, and his HP back, so that instantly procs the Last Stand, and then he can ult instantly, which gets an extra 30% with Last Stand damage, so it's literally made for him. Same as Sure of the Rain. Same thing. Literally made for him, gets invincibility, and then does the damage straight afterwards, so Last Stand literally made for these three characters in my opinion. Next up is Katakuri. We're going to put him in Last Stand. Again, very good tank, early game. Last Stand just to deal the extra damage on his ult and everything. He can ignore a 60% damage on his passive, so Last Stand in my opinion is probably the best for him. Then we have Odin. Odin has the invincibility effect. Again, a lot of characters in Last Stand will have the invincibility effect. So they'll instantly proc Last Stand. That's why they're very good here. Then we have Chopper as well. Chopper is absolutely amazing with Last Stand. When he falls below a certain amount of HP, he'll proc his effect, invincibility, or whatever it is. It's the same thing. Takes no damage for an entire turn, and then he heals up, and then Chopper is just absolutely insane. He heals up, and then he gains even more damage bonus and buffs. So he's absolutely insane, and then each character that dies, he gets even more buffs. He just becomes a solo one-man machine. So he's absolutely amazing with Last Stand. Then we have Carrot. Again, amazing for Last Stand. In my opinion. Just the same thing as all these characters. Robin as well, she has the same thing where she has the invincibility effect, which can't be damaged, and she heals up 5% of her HP. So yeah, she's absolutely amazing. Now, Monkey D. Dragon, in my opinion, I think Last Stand is the best for him. He doesn't have an invincibility effect, he just has all those bonuses on your ultimate damage and all that. He's all about ultimate damage, for your team. It's just all about ultimates. I think Last Stand will be the best for him. You can obviously put him in Burst Impact, Straight Dive if you want him to deal more damage, but I think Last Stand, because he's more of a support damage character. Yeah. Then we have Nika Fruit Luffy, the newest character. Straight Dive will 100% be his best Adventure Souls. You can maybe run Last Stand as I was running if you're into a much harder team, so a person with more power, because he gets so many bonuses and he can't die once, he does get revived. So I do think Straight Dive to get the maximum damage and potential out of him is the best. You can also run Last Stand if you want. I do think Straight Dive is the best. For Sanji Germa, I think Straight Dive is the best to get the maximum damage out of him possible. He's just a damage dealer. Can, again, as I've been saying, you can go Burst Impact on him. It's completely up to you. I also think both of the Luffys here are Straight Dives because they do get so many bonuses from their passives. He gets like 6 different bonuses for each attack crew. 4, 5, and 6 attack crews. So that's instantly proccing Straight Dive. Getting the maximum bonuses from Straight Dive. So I think for these two characters, it's 100% Straight Dive. Again, you can run it Burst Impact, but they're getting so many buffs that I think Straight Dive is by far the best for them. Same with Amazor. I think Straight Dive is the best for him as well to deal the most damage possible. These are your big damage dealers mainly. These are your AoE Lion units, so either one is fine. Same with Magellan and King. King, you could probably put in either of these three. He's more of a support character for the attack team. Buffs depending on different turns. Might buff your attack for one turn, might buff your defense. Uh, any of these three are fine. So it's completely up to you. Yamato, I really like Yamato with synergy. Same as Zephyr. I really like them with synergy. They're mainly just tanks. I really like them getting a 30% damage reduction right at the start of the battle, taunting. Unlike General Frankie, they don't heal up. That's why Last Stand isn't as good. You can run Last Stand. Like, don't get me wrong, you can run Last Stand on both of these. It's probably perfectly fine. I just prefer synergy on them. So it's completely up to you. You can, as I said, you can run Last Stand on both of them. It's completely up to you. Then we have Rosenet, a 100% weakness assault. It's not even a question. Weakness Assault was made for this character. His passive and his ult does more damage based on the negative status effects on the enemy. So he'll do like 25% more damage on his passive, with his passive, sorry, to the more negative effects. Same as his ult, does like 50% more damage per negative effect or something. So just read through his ult and his passive and you understand why he's here. He's literally made for Weakness Assault. For the last two characters, we have Hiyori and Swimsuit Bo Hancock. These two I like in Spring of Life. I've been running Hiyori recently, as you've seen in some of my videos. I've been running her with Spring of Life to get the maximum healing possible. She's an absolutely insane support character. Unfortunately, her passive is a little bit bugged, and you cannot. And the immune effect, being immune to all the control effects, isn't working at the moment. So hopefully they'll fix that. But she's absolutely amazing character, healing, buffing your team. So I think Spring of Life is the best for her. Obviously, you can run. There really isn't any other adventure souls for her. Like, she's a support character. You don't really want to make her a damage character because she's constantly healing. I just think Spring of Life is the best for her. Some people might argue Last Stand or something else. But in my opinion, I just prefer running Spring of Life. And same as Bo Hancock, she's just a support character. Not healing, but she has a lot of buffs and disperses weakness status effects. So the extra healing to two characters, her and another character, could be really good in the team. She's mainly used for a 6 slot and then different teams. So yeah, you can put her as Last Stand, you can put her as... It really depends. I just prefer Spring of Life. In my opinion, I prefer, yeah, Spring of Life for these two characters. And these characters, when I'm going to go through, you shouldn't be pairing any of these characters up. Vivi is VIP 12, I'm not really going to cover her. Not many people are going to be VIP 12, and you shouldn't even buy the bundle, in my opinion, which is not worth it. So yeah, these characters are just used for affinity or links of these characters, so you shouldn't be giving Adventure Souls or pairing them up at all. So this is our list for the Adventure Souls you should be giving to each of your characters. Don't forget, during the video, I did recommend multiple for each character, so this isn't set in stone that Kind of Dragon Form is 100% burst impact. He can be, yeah, as I said, he can be in either these three. So that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.